Hi everyone, Jason here from Maryland Opera. Taylor Boykins is back again, this time to teach us more about Marian Anderson. Enjoy.
So, while Marian was completely beloved and embraced over in Europe, things back here in the United States still weren't as progressive. Things such as segregation and discrimination and racism were still very real facts of life over here. And even though the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was implemented, it still didn't help. There were still some states that chose, not to abide by that. So when Marian came back here to the United States to give her performances, she often had to give the same performance twice, once to an African American audience, once to a white audience. And at the end of the day, she couldn't even do so much as reserve a hotel room for herself, again, because of the color of her skin. To add insult to injury, she was also getting a lot of pressure from society because she wasn't very vocal about the struggles and the plight of the African American community. There were a lot of other singers, African Americans, who were protesters, who had the public spotlight and who really advocated for African Americans, but Marian didn't really believe in using her public platform to discuss anything political. She was definitely more a woman of dignity and grace, and she pretty much practiced love and kindness through her actions and in sharing her gift with the world in that way. She ended up being invited to sing on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, which I'm sure a lot of you know about, in 1939, because they couldn't find a venue for her to celebrate with Howard University. They wanted her to come down and do a performance for them. And so Eleanor Roosevelt, who was the first lady at the time, got on board with her, and she talked to President Roosevelt, and they agreed to have her sing on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. And so she did. And I say she wasn't really political because she wasn't, but when she sang on those steps, she ended up singing My Country 'Tis of Thee. And when she did, she changed the word I to we. So, it's my country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. She said, of thee we sing. And that was about as political as she got. That was her subtle way of saying, we're all in this together. We're all equal. We're all one. And so that's what she did with that. But she eventually ended up living out her dream and becoming an opera singer. And the reason Marian was such a big deal, or at least one of the many, many reasons aside from her upstanding character, was the fact that she was the first African American to ever sing at the Metropolitan Opera House. And she made her debut as a fortune teller in Verdi's Un ballo maschera, and her name was Ulrika. And so before she even sang her first note, when she came out on stage at the Met, they gave her a 10-minute standing ovation. And so I'd like to sing a little bit of that aria for you now.
Re dell'abisso affrettati, precipita per l'etera, senza libar folgore il tetto mio penetra. Ormai 3 volte lupo dall'alto sospiro, la salamandra innivora 3 volte gemito 3 volte a me parlò, ed il tuo bel gemito 3 volte a me parlò. 3 volte a me
So, you know, Marian Anderson was a pretty cool lady, and she ended up leaving a legacy behind for African Americans all over the world that have a love for classical music or really performing of any kind, and she paved the way for a lot of us to share the music like we are with you today. So you kind of have to wonder where we would be if Marian gave up, and she had many, many reasons along the way to give up, but she didn't. So I just hope that you guys move forward with your lives and whatever creative fashion suits you best, and I wish that, you know, we could all live with the grace and the perseverance. English, I speak it, it's hard. Perseverance that Marian Anderson did. So I thank you for spending time with me today if you did watch these, and I hope you're well and I hope you're safe, and we'll see you in person soon.